Hi, my name is Steve Hibbler. I'm the branch manager and one of the owners for First Source Financial in the Southern California office for First Source Financial. 10 years ago, I met John Moss, and I didn't know a whole lot about the industry. I'd been in the business for 5 years and still didn't understand or have a basic concept of our industry as a professional. John Moss trained me at one of my first companies where I learned the industry. And I found that I became a much more successful loan officer by having his training. Now, 10 years later, I've started my own company, and I have 31 loan officers who work with me. I've found that many of them come to me after several years of experience and still don't have quite the full understanding of our industry, especially about sales, about appraisals, and various things that too often we overlook as a professional. I contracted John to come and teach my 31 loan officers. What I've found is there's a new excitement that happens with them. I've found that these loan officers come in with more knowledge, and when they speak to the customers, they definitely have a better sales ability. I recommend you to call John. It'll make a big difference in the success of your company. Thank you very much.
Hi, how are you? My name is John Ortega. I'm currently the production manager for New Century Mortgage, also known as Home 123 in the city of Irvine. I'm dealing primarily in the subprime market. I'm an industry veteran with about 25 years of experience in the subprime lending arena. And it's my pleasure to recommend John Moss as probably one of the best trainers that I've encountered over the last 10 years. John and I go back at least 10 years. We met at a company called United Lending Group at that time. I was a sales manager, at which point I needed a little bit more support in order to grow the organization. Consequently, after bringing him on board and using the techniques that he brought with him, we were able to grow that floor from a division of about 20 to 30 loan advisors or loan agents to well above 100 to 120 at one point. Consequently, after my tenure with United Lending Group, I had the privilege of serving as a vice president for Greater Acceptance Mortgage in Orange. I was there about 5 years, and again, I had the privilege of working with John in a training capacity, primarily because in this industry I'm always looking for talent. I'm looking for individuals that have the ability to transfer trust and enthusiasm to the consumer, but they may not have the skill or skill set needed in a loan officer environment. And that's where John's training comes in perfectly. He really clearly has defined a roadmap for success for the novice. And we take individuals that are new in the business and we bring them up to expert level in probably 6 months to a year. And that's something that's very valuable to this industry. And I wish John continued success. And again, I have no problem recommending him.
Hello, my name is Dan Link. My partner Jeff Markell and I of Home Loan Funder are proud to be associated with John Moss at the University for Loan Officer because of how complementary we are for one another. Home Loan Funder offers newly licensed loan officers a way to learn loans and originate in the process while being trained and supported. Once the loan officers have a few loans under their belt, we're encouraging them to go through John's University for the advanced training. Upon completion of that training, what we do is we've given them the ability to be fully prepared to go out into the industry and accept full-time positions and take the resources along with them that will allow them to introduce other services to companies. A broker turn-down program can be offered to new brokers they work with. The turning your processing center into a profit center is an additional resource. We're proud that we're working with John Moss, and with proper training, the reps can now do more than just offer a pipeline to a new broker. They can offer everyone benefits. Just one last note on John Moss. It is a pleasure to work with him, and to sum him up in one word would be magical.
My name is Robert Bell, and I'm a team manager with First Source Financial. I attended John's class and was just completely amazed by what the lessons that he taught were. We learned just an amazing amount of information that helped with our closing techniques and actually building the rapport with the clients. The results were amazing. Within the first month, we noticed a 33.6% increase in our sales volume, and it's just been growing ever since. I went from making $12,000 to $15,000 a month to $36,000 a month within months. It's awesome. I recommend anyone to take this class. I make sure everyone who comes on my team goes to this class before they even touch a phone.
Hi, I'm Bob Jagers with Dana Capital Group. I'm the Correspondent Division Manager. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce you all to John Moss's book on selling for the Millionaire Loan Officer. This is a program that's been under development for many, many years. I've known John for about 24 years, and we go back to the time when we were having to sell 11% rates and even higher to different people in subprime marketing. And this was an effective tool of marketing to those people, of redirecting their thought processes along your thought processes. It's a worthwhile investment to everybody that's entertaining getting into the loan business and to experienced people as well. Take the opportunity to take a look at this program because it'll make you a lot of money.
I met John a few years ago when my financial planning company was teaming up with the mortgage company that he was training at because they wanted to add financial planning products to their portfolio. The things that struck me the most about John was his integrity and the ability to communicate the message effectively to the employees. I believe that his training is vital for anyone looking to go to the next level in the mortgage business.
We highly recommend you taking John's training course, as all of our sales force have.
We have hired John's graduates, and it has worked for us, and we certainly will work for you.
Hello, my name is Wayne Ferris. I'm a realtor and mortgage broker. I was hired into the industry about 8 years ago by John as a telemarketer. Since then, I worked my way up. I became a top producing loan officer, a manager of loan officers. I've had my own company. I've done very well in the business thanks to John. I truly use his techniques every single day. I've hired people to go strictly to his class. I've brought him into offices where I've managed. He's done a great job. Everyone that goes through his training benefits. It's something that I recommend for everyone to go through.
John Moss and University for Loan Officers provides the tools that people need to succeed in this industry. He creates an environment that provides the individual the tools they need to become the millionaire loan officer that they want to be. He creates an environment that potentially gives them the benefit of his training class along with the benefits that his training provides through the sales techniques that he presents in his materials and also in his training seminars.
Hi, my name is George Tankus. I'm a former president of United Lending Group and an owner of United Lending Group. I hired John Moss to train my loan initiators, outbound call people, and loan officers, and he helped increase my application rate by 25% and, more importantly, my closing ratio by 25%. With the high cost of leads these days, you really have to make sure you can make the best of what you get as training-wise because you need to close those deals. The leads are very expensive, and John was more than paid for himself many times over. I highly recommend that you bring him on to train your people.
Hi, my name is Steve Hibbler. I'm the branch manager and the loan officer and owner for First Source Financial's branch in Southern California. I want you to know that I've known John Moss for over 10 years. John trained me after 5 years of experience in 1990 from 1995 in the loan industry. When I went to John, I went to his class, I learned an awful lot. And one of the things that was most helpful was educating me as to what the industry was all about. I'm speaking of not just knowing about an appraisal, not just knowing about basics, but about knowing how to sell as well. After 10 years of being away from John, I've started my own business, and being an owner of a company, I've realized that my people have to have an education. So one of the things that I did was call John, and I contracted him to train my 31 loan officer staff. What I found is that these loan officers not only have a lot more excitement, but they also walk in with much more knowledge and confidence now. If you want to know about the bottom line, it's risen from about 30 to 35%. And what I found is that without education and without this knowledge that John provides, I'm not going to be as successful. I welcome you to give John a call. You'll be glad you did. Thank you.
John did a very good job of teaching all of the training skills needed by loan officers, and I was extremely happy with the results, as were other people in the course that I attended. We now have loan officers attending John's course on a regular basis, and as they come out of John's course, their sales skills and their closing skills are considerably better than when they went in. I would recommend John's training course to anyone considering sending loan officers to a sales training course.